Hello everyone, you are welcome to the YouTube channel of The News God. If you don't know me, you've never seen me, my name is Nelson Kofi and it's nice meeting you. Today we're doing something different. We're switching gears a little bit to interpret the news to you. So as against what you're used to, that is seen as present or reports the news to you, today we're analyzing the news with you. That being said, I'd encourage you to type in your comments of what you think about this initiative down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. It's a conversation. And like I said, this is interpreting of the news. So we're going to be as conversational as possible. We're not going to be too uptight, too formal. No, that is news presenting. Here, we're interpreting the news to you. So what news are we interpreting today? It is about the news of National Film Authority issuing a stern warning to Ghanaian TV stations who are fond of broadcasting content that is not theirs onto their screens without seeking the appropriate authority. So you must have seen it yourself, a nice movie or a really interesting movie on your TV screen on one of the Ghanaian TV stations, and you are wondering, ooh, has this sort, well, or did they seek the appropriate procedure to broadcast this? But you know, you just let that go and then you're watching your movie. Yes, so it is wrong to do that. And then the National Film Authority is coming out to say that we have to put a stop to these things. So why does this thing matter? Why is this such a big deal? One, it is a big deal because these works have been protected by copyright laws, and these copyright laws are instituted for a very special reason, to protect the rights of these original creators, so much so that you, as somebody who didn't take part in the creation or making of the work, can't just go and lift the work and project or telecast. Because when you do this, you are taking recognition away from the original creator. You are taking revenue away from the original creator. Yes, revenue, because when these works are uploaded onto YouTube and the numbers come in, they generate revenue for these people. But then if you go and lift that work and project it onto the screen, then I don't need to go and watch it on YouTube because I'm already seeing it on my television screen. So in effect, they are taking money or revenue from the original creator, which is wrong. So the National Film Authority has come out with a statement to say that TV stations who are caught or fond of doing this should put a stop to it. If not, they are liable to some repercussions, which includes a revocation of their TV license. So what is the National Film Authority about? Simply put, the National Film Authority is even self-explanatory. They are in charge of, the regulation and the administration of anything film that has to do in Ghana. So let me just give you a little more in-depth, or should I say in-depth, more formal, just so that you'd get the understanding very clearly. So the NFA is the body or the organization that is responsible for promoting, regulating, and ensuring the development of the Ghanaian film industry. That is quite self-explanatory, and I've explained it on top of that, so I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. And so there has been a growing trend of, especially Nigerian filmmakers, coming out to report that there have been people coming up to tell us that Ghanaian TV stations are broadcasting our work and we don't have any recollection of us giving them the authority to do that. We can talk about actresses as Omoni Oboli, Ruth Kadari. They've all come out, and most recently the most recent one, Ademoye Bimbo. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names, that I'm not Nigerian. I'm not familiar with how to pronounce the names, but I'm sure I've done a little bit on my part to do that. Yeah, so they've come out with statements and videos lamenting and complaining that this is not right. We have copyright laws. We have intellectual property laws. Like, that is our intellectual property. You cannot come out and just lift that work and then just go and project on your screens, because the time, the money, the resources that have been put into this work, we have to be respected as the original creators of this work, right? So let me just read a little bit of what the NFA said in their statement. So, as the national regulator of the film and audiovisual sector, the NFA, which is the National Film Authority, is committed to protecting content producers' rights. To this end, the authority is working closely with relevant institutions to investigate and take appropriate actions against television stations that air content without authorization from the rights owner or rights holder. Offenders risk having their licenses suspended or revoked. And so that is what could come about when the TV stations, or if the TV stations decide to be stubborn and not desist from the act of projecting content that is copyrighted and not seeking the needed authority to project them. Right, so let's go on ahead with understanding what that revocation means. So the revocation could mean several things. One, it could mean that the licensing of that TV station or the TV station could be shut down. That's what revocation means. The NFA could straight up legally, and it's by legal means, tell you you've, gone against copyright laws, and as such, shut down your TV station, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to shut down. On top of that, you can be asked to pay a fine because, yes, you're taking money from these people's pockets. So you could be asked to pay a fine. And so talking about the, the revocation, that's the shutting down. It could mean that you are losing your job. You are losing the staff of, so unemployment, those are all the repercussions that could come under revocation. And what else? What else? Let me know in the comments if you're following the conversation, what else a revocation could mean. So just another bit of the revocation bits before we move to the next point. Your credibility as a TV station is tainted because if you decide to even come back and create a new TV station or just start all over again because you've been shut down and you've been granted the permission or the authority by the NFA to do that, your credibility has been tainted. Oh, that's the TV station that was asked to shut down. I don't think I want to watch it. They are not credible. So we should listen to the NFA and do what needs to be done so that we don't find ourselves wanting. So the next thing, why is this action necessary? And I'm sure at this point you would have had an idea on why it's very necessary to do this. But let me just go on ahead and break it down to you in case you have not caught on to it. One, it's protecting the rights of the content creators. So it's allowing them to have their recognition and their money that they are due. Right? So if the content is on YouTube and is not projected on the TV screens, then people will go and watch it on YouTube. And then the work of the original creator is recognized. And by so doing, he's generating his money. So that's a good thing. And then in doing that as well, the next point is it strengthens the creative economy. What do we mean by this? So the fair use of intellectual property boosts investor and artist confidence in Ghana's creative sector. I'm sure that we can all come to the understanding that these copyright issues and copyright infringement issues may deter possible investors or potential investors from coming to the country and then invest in our creativity and invest in our creative art. But then if we enforce these copyright laws and in essence assure the people or the investors that, look, our copyright laws are airtight and we have measures in place to make sure that they are readily enforced, then these what do we call them? I'm sorry. These investors can come down here and then invest in us. And then artist confidence. You as an artist, a creator, you are confident that, oh, my work is protected with copyright law, so I don't have anything to worry about. I can put out my work and then it will not be lifted off and then projected onto a certain screen and then in turn my money taken from me and my revenue taken from me, my recognition taken from me. So yeah, that's just two of the very good thing about why this action is very necessary. But aside from that, it's a way to uphold the law. The law says these people have been protected by copyright law, so don't lift their work and go and project it onto your screen. Don't do that. So it's a way to uphold the stipulations of the Constitution. Yes, It's in the Constitution, copyright laws. Now, so the potential impact, and this is just a little sequel to the previous points, but let's just get it so that we get a full understanding of the depth of this issue. Stations will need to obtain proper rights or risk a heavy penalty. So when this is done, stations will then seek the rights or the needed authority from the owners of these works before they project them onto the screen. So you want to put my work onto your screen. These are the stipulations. These are what you need to do. Then the rights procedures are followed. Then the right thing is done and everybody is happy, right? So it gives more respect to the creative rights and could mean a stronger, more vibrant Ghanaian film and content industry. So then you're putting respect on the Ghanaian film industry name. So now you're not tainting the, because it's a very embarrassing thing to, put on the Ghanaian markets, that every time Ghana is taken from somebody and put it on their screen without seeking due diligence. That is not good. That is not right. So now, if we're seeking the appropriate means, or we're following the right steps, then we're going to put respect on the Ghanaian name, and we're going to give respect to the original creators. So it is a good thing that NFA is coming out to do this. Yeah. So I feel like we've spoken exhaustively and extensively, and if there's something that I've missed out, or there's something that I've left out, kindly prompt me in the comments, and I'll do well to, put it in my next reportage or interpretation of the news. I'm so happy that I've done this with you, but to end this, I'd like to read something really swift and, profound to end this well. In a digital age where content is king, respecting intellectual property isn't just good practice, it is essential for national development. And I'm sure that you agree with me. So the next time that we'll do this again, see you. Thank you for watching.